Hi! Just wanted to actually see you and say hello to start off Journey of Christmas. You're going to see my hands in just a moment and we'll get started on the manifesto and I'm going to show you my supplies. But I just wanted to just tell you straight up that there is absolutely no such thing as falling behind in this class. There is no such thing as a certain right way to do it. You do not need to have an entry every day. You do not need to have a whole page or fall in love with every single prompt. The whole becomes bigger than the sum of its parts. And it might be that the sum of your parts is a little bit this year and a little bit next year and a little bit after that. And that's absolutely fine. And that's what I set out to do in the very beginning. There are lots of you who make a page every day. And you know what? If you skip a day, no one is going to notice. It's okay. The only person who has to stay on schedule is me, because all of you would like to see it. So here we are. But sometimes I will find that I am creating at different hours of the day. I don't find right now that I have the exact same time every day. There have been parts of my life where I've done projects like this and said, okay, at 6 a.m. every day I'm going to do my page. This is not that time of my life. So tonight I am making my day one, my manifesto, and quite late at night, everyone else is asleep, and this is my time to create. And you know what? This morning I felt a little bit stressed out about that. And just being honest. And I had gone through all the other stuff I needed to do and thought, part of me is saying now, drop everything else and do your day one entry right now. But I was exhausted. My brain was mentally shattered. I had been doing all the other stuff and it was not creative work. It was all the computer stuff and all of that sort of worky work that, you know, the stuff that feels like real work, not the stuff that always feels like a joy, which is the making part. And then if I had gone to write my manifesto right then, it just would not have worked. The energy was not there. The feeling festive was not there, but that didn't mean that it was gone for long. It was just exhaustion. And right now, I feel very festive. I have had, I left the house, I went out and I did things. I have seen a world outside that looks like Christmas. I've done some Christmassy type things, just very, very simple things. And it's back. It was just temporary. It was just what it was. So I tell you this because you might have moments like this too. And if you are trying to force through a moment of exhaustion, I don't think that's where you're gonna find your Christmas joy. So give yourself a break. Be kind to yourself. Take some time, go do the things that you need to do and the things that you want to do and the things that you love to do, and then come back and see if that joy is there. Okay, I'm not going to wax lyrical anymore, but I just wanted to get that out there in the open. So you're going to see me little different times of day and different types of routine, and that's all what goes into making my album true to that particular Christmas. Also, Louise, who's out there and does a Christmas journal or different types of Christmas crafting. She has challenged me to include a Christmas song every day. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I gotta figure that out. So let's move on to a look at what I'm using. Some of you will have seen these supplies in a Facebook video earlier this week, so I'm just going to go through this with a little look so that you get an idea and you know what you're going to see. So I'm working in a 6x8 size and I'm going to once again use a Studio Calico handbook. Now I have a few of these left on my shelf and that's why I'm going to use them, but sadly I don't think they make them anymore. The reason I really love them is because this is so thick. I looked at a Project Life one and I love the size, but it's maybe a 1/2 inch smaller, and I just think I would run out of room because I always fill this one to the brim and it's just the perfect size. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's what I'm doing. I've actually used this exact same cover. I have one other different cover in my cupboard that I might use, so I'm not going to do anything to the cover yet because I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to use, but that gives you an idea. And the pockets that I will use, I have some more to put in here. So there's a mix of full 6x8 pages, and then pockets, either 2 4x6, what else I can do? 2 3x4 with a 4x6, or all 3x4s. And then I also have a couple different ones that have lots of small squares, things like that. So that will be my album, and then these are the supplies that I'm using. I've got this slow and steady dotted journaling pad. Now every page is the same. It's super smooth, so it's great for writing practice, and there's 50 sheets in there. The reason I wanted to put a whole writing pad like that in the kit is to give you the freedom to feel like you can draft and redraft and mess up and not feel like the paper is precious. There's 50 whole sheets, so you got plenty of room. But it's also really smooth paper, so that it's great for your pens. It won't wear out the tips. And that's Kelly Creates. There's a lot of paper. My album this year is going to be mostly paper, layers and layers of paper. So I'm just going to flip through this quickly. In case there's anything that catches your eye, if you want more details on anything, just post in the forum and I will get that information added for you. But I will try to add or say the names of these as I go through. So this is a Dear Lizzie gold foil number print on clear acetate. Bow Bunny Christmas collage, which is wood grain with a little subtle holly, or more collaged back. I'm going to use the wood grain. Bow Bunny Forever Young, a white background with green watercolor hearts, or a sky print, which I'm thinking I might use for New Year's Day, but I like both sides. Just a normal white vellum. This is from Head in the Clouds. That's the Counting Wishes paper, and then green with pine needles in the back. Bow Bunny Christmas collage, wood grain deer. Rulers on the other side. And this is from Glitter Girl, and I probably won't use that side, but I'm including this in my kit for a second year running because I just found this such a great paper for Christmas. I use this all year round, and I just love this paper. Am I allowed to love a paper that I wanted to make? But I do, and so I put it in my kit again. I love the wood grain and how it mixes in with everything else. Bow Bunny Double Dot. It's kind of an Art Deco-y type style, but I mostly want the polka dots, personally. Bow Bunny Fa La La, and that's got like an explosion of red and white and gold glitter. It's not really glitter, it's just patterned to look like it, or a white with deer and trees. Vicky Field Notes with lots of pens, paintbrushes, and things. Great for letters to Santa, writing your Christmas cards, writing thank you cards. I thought there were quite a few different times that you might want to have a little nod to the written word, and if not, you've got green leaves on the back. Bow Bunny Take a Hike for this campfire type, logs for the chimney is what I was imagining for the fire. I probably won't use this wilderness type side, but that's okay. Crepe paper Merry Days, pink with holly, or a gray blue small pattern on the back. There's just one 3x4 cut apart in my kit this year, and that's this one by Bow Bunny, Fa La La. If you want to bring more blue into the album, this is your combination here. And then red, also from Fa La La. Feels like it could be snowy, but it could also just be little bubbles of Christmas lights or anything like that. Christmas jumpers. Green from Box of Crayons also has numbers. Same green, but with a polka dot. This is also a box of crayons. And then cameras that you could cut apart and use as embellishments. And there are both green and red cameras. So if you wanted to cut all of them out, you could use a rainbow of cameras, but you could just pick the red and green cameras if you want to be a bit more Christmassy. Head in the clouds. I thought this might look great for having some contrast but still feeling outdoorsy if you went to a tree farm or something like that and your photos ended up with lots of trees but also a lot of green to the picture and you needed something for contrast. I thought this could work. But if that sort of outdoorsy activity is not your thing, do not fear. Dark green with the light green from those two as the polka dot. This one, unless you're very into your springtime florals at Christmas, which you might be, that's okay. But what I really put it in for is this red B-side. That's from Head in the Clouds, as is this. I think I need to turn that whole stack now. A cloud print that could work really well. I feel like, especially these pieces with the stars, you could put, you know, a reindeer and sleigh up here to have Santa in the clouds, or cameras that you can customize into any color you want or leave black and white. Pebbles Jen had feel along the way. It could be a spring floral, but there's so much green that I just thought this actually felt more like a Christmassy floral. And leaves on the back. DIY Shop white numbers on vellum. This is also Jen Hadfield Along the Way, lots of Pebbles collection, and I thought this was a different little take, kind of a graphic version of Christmas trees. Or floral on the back that I think at a pinch in layering could look like mistletoe. And for those of you who live in parts of the world where oranges in your Christmas stocking is a thing, there's this little row at the bottom that reminded me of clementines. Also, Jen Hadfield, same collection, but here a black and white print or these little birds that could be perhaps some Christmassy birds. Are they turtle doves? Are they? I think they're too small for 3 French hens, but they could definitely be turtle doves. Paige Evans Whimsical, this green with tiny little tone-on-tone crosses, or if you want something more colorful, you've got an explosion of dots there on the back. 1 Canoe 2 Goldenrod, this lovely forest looking up at the sky. So you could take this in lots of directions. You could put, again, you could have tree farm type photos on this. You could have a star to do a nativity nod on this, in some sort of, whether it's a performed nativity or a church service or anything like that. You could make it work like that with 1 star in the sky. Or you could put a sleigh and some reindeer in the sky. I just, there are lots of different ways you could use that, plus it's really pretty. This pattern on the back I think could be used as crosses as well. Kind of an interesting take on that geometry. Then some nice little explosions of rainbow color. This is from Paige Evans Whimsical, and I love this rainbow. I want to use it in nice little strips, just to add a little explosion of color here and there without taking it over and feeling like an entire rainbow album. Or here is the rainbow a little bit more subtle on the white background with all those little hearts. Also from Paige Evans Whimsical, this is that same rainbow but in stars on turquoise, pink ombre on the back, which reminds me of kind of a nutcracker type pink. Ballet slippers and Clara in her nightgown. I might be overthinking that, but that's what comes to mind. Again, from Paige Evans Whimsical, I put this one in for this green B-side. There might be little pieces here that fit your stories as well. 2 from Heidi Swap, this polka dot with a cut apart on the other side. I'm really looking forward to using this with some stickers to spell out F is for festive. And you've got a number there, so I might use that today. Again, Heidi Swap letters, numbers, so you could cut apart things that you want.
and a lovely wood grain there. Okay, so that is my paper. Lots and lots and lots of paper. And then 2 sets of thickers, red glitter on black foam called Land of Wonder. But that's the Eclair font that I've loved for years, and they brought it out in red glitter. I love that. And this one called Anne, which is gold foil on white foam. And just a few little sticker embellishments. Puffy hearts from Head in the Clouds. Enamel dots from Box of Crayons that have red and green that'll be easy to use, but I also think the yellow and the turquoise pretty simple in this as well. By the way, there's lots of green in here, and that's why I've included it. And then this black and white Heidi Swap Puffy sticker set, which has numbers and then some neutral things. If you look at this and think, but these don't look particularly Christmassy, or any of the patterns that you might think don't look Christmassy, I do when I put my kit together. I always have this idea that I should try to have things left over, like my scraps at the end should be usable for things other than specifically Christmas. So that's why I tend to include a lot of things that are not specifically Christmas, but that I find will work. So I'm looking forward to like all those shades of green. I've got a set of washi tape. These all came in one box. So that's a gold with glitter and foil, a set of washi tapes from Heidi Swap. And then this bit of fun. This is Baker's Twine with wire inside. This banner I put in as a last little just surprise into the kits, and it has gold glitter letters. They are a size that you could put them in your album. You could just even use just the ampersand and as a page piece or part of your title, or you could use this to dress up the place where you create. You could use it for photos, just wherever you might like. Then I have my Christmas stamps, 2 sheets, one with the numbers and then everything else is words, and they should fit together easily so that you could have like Happy Christmas, or you could have Christmas Magic. You can have Holly Jolly, just kind of different words that should help make little titles and things like that come together. So, all right, I am going to go ahead and get started now with my manifesto. I'm using the green pattern as my 6x8 background for a 6x8 page, and I'm straight into this writing pad. For my manifesto, I want to be able to fill about half the page with writing. I'm just going to old school tear that right down the middle. This is then going to get stuck to that background. So I've got basically a half and half page composition, but with a little different effect. I'm going to add some brown ink to this, which I cut from that Heidi Swap paper. That's going to go right up there. I also have this Instax photo of some Christmas decorations that's still developing, but something Christmassy. That's going to go right behind there. And break out this gold mist. If you are using the Color Shine mist, the trick is you do need to shake them even more than you think. I'm going to go in a line across here. And that is why my mist always lasts so long, because I'm always using it just a tiny little bit at a time. Now, my stamps out and ready. I'm going to use that script Christmas, and then I also, one of the only other things that I've put out on my desk is just a simple set of letter stamps so that I can stamp my manifesto underneath the script Christmas. So here is Christmas. I have some brown ink. Wouldn't need to be brown. In fact, ooh, why don't I use the brown on the letters? Let me see if I've got a green. I know I have a green. Yeah. Let's use some green ink for this bit. There we go. And then brown. Yep, I know that's straight away some imperfect stamping. And I'm just going to embrace it and do what normally gets me out of any pinch of something not looking quite right, and that is to do more of it. So those edges are just going to show up. I'm okay with that. That is what I get for investing in a really quality set of letter stamps from Poundland. Yep. But I'm stamping it on that paper that I'm not at all precious about. So if it bothers me, I could always come back and make a change. I do that. It's allowed. Okay, those can go over here to be sorted out later. Green ink, brown ink. And then before I do the writing, the last little bit that I wanted to do was to grab a bit of red. Which red shall I have? What I was thinking of, I think, is the back of this one. Yeah. I'm going to have a little bit of red. A couple of circles. To extend this horizontal line. Maybe I want ink on that. That's the thing about inking. If you decide on day one that you want to ink things, then you have to kind of commit to inking everything. It's not really a rule, but I just find that if I start inking, I have to continue, or I notice it a lot. So I'm going to have those two in that line, and then I'm going to bring this last little pinch of red down to the bottom of the page. Could also go up here at the top if it needed to bring in more room for the writing. But I'm going to go into a triangle here. That's going to go. In fact, I'm going to move that because I smudged it a bit. That's going to go off the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and ink all the way around while I'm there. Then narrow washi tape, if I can find the end. These are going to go off the edge of the page. There's a reason that's not sticking, and it's because there's no adhesive. There we go. Just wrap those. This one needs to be trimmed. And then my plain vellum, my last little detail, here it is, last little bit before I add my journaling for today, and that's going to be a star to go next to each of those circles, so 3 stars. Where do I want them to go? Not 100% yet. I thought I would like that more than I do, so that's okay. I'm just going to keep those for another page. I will definitely use them, so I don't have any worry about that. Instead, I'm going to start with these. And I think every time I use these, I'm going to use one set of 3. So I can do 15 different pages with one little group of 3. So let's start here. Do I want it on the end of the tape? Or, I like that better, overlapping. One down here. Okay, embellishment done. Just time for journaling now. So there we go. That is my opening page done. And as it comes together, I promise that simple is absolutely fine. It ends up working really, really well. And just keep to what you like. Don't have to make it super complicated. Enjoy. I will see you again tomorrow.